All right, so now we're back. The thing I want to talk about here, the carnivore diet. What are some of my criticisms of this diet? I do think, even though 90 to 95% of my symptoms are just gone, and it's 10 months, I've never felt this good, I know I can feel even better. And I think my limitation, aside from some micronutrient deficiencies like iodine, calcium, selenium, a few that are on there, mainly because I'm just not doing enough in the way of sardines, maybe not doing enough nose to tail, maybe the liver just isn't enough, collagen's not enough, bone marrow's not enough. And so I really need to get some seafood sources. If I could do dairy sources, I would, but my body just doesn't let me do it. So then that leaves me with, hopefully the wind's not going to interfere with this, but hopefully what I want to get across through in this video is a critique I have is some of these people are just like zero carb, no glucose spikes, you know, no, we don't want to see insulin spikes or anything. But the truth be told, I think we can cohabitate with, you know, the glucose and the ketones, guys. I don't think we need to be doing this strict one way or another unless our body is telling us for a short window of time, this is the way it is. My concern with long-term ketosis is increased constant cortisol response as a stress response for not having glucose. And it does appear to be very true, even for me, even though I feel really good, but it's like being hyped up kind of all the time. And so this is part of the thing I think you see these carnivore guys and gals, they feel so good, it's like you're being jacked up, you know? And so at some point, this affects the thyroid in a negative way. And so I think doing the iodine is going to help on that level. But I also think another thing to take into consideration is maybe considering like orange juice, just freshly squeezed, and you can use some sodium bicarbonate to buffer the acidity of that, and start with like an ounce, and then every night just do another ounce until you see if it affects your sleep. And that's going to affect your thyroid for sure. So finding ways to integrate fruits or something, or even a starch if your body lets you do it, or carrots, steamed carrots, that would be another route to go. That's going to be the route I'm going to probably start with, and just see. You know, if I can see improvements in my sleep scores even more than just doing the calcium and the carnivore, then, and I'm doing more than calcium, by the way, but that's the new addition. So these perspectives, we need to get out of these dogmatic ways of thinking of it has to be pure carnivore, it has to be pure keto, it has to be pure vegetables. I mean, it's all about just crack of shit, guys. Just find what works for you. I do think the majority of the people would benefit from the base being primarily carnivore, just because the nutrient density and diversity is just so high that it just makes sense. And the anti-nutrients are virtually nil. So take this in consideration when you're exploring these things. I'm constantly upgrading, constantly exploring and experimenting, and then testing the waters and seeing what are the results. I'm feeling an actual reversal of this disease process in this lower right quadrant for the first time in this 5-year journey. I mean, short of when I did a 9-day water fast was the closest. Look at that, you see that butterfly? That was awesome. Sort of then, I haven't felt like this area is shrinking, and you know, you can palpate the tissue and it doesn't feel as rough, it feels a lot smaller. So that's just from doing the intermittent fasting and being extremely strict. So I guess if there's some names I want to put out there, Danny Roddy, Ray Peat, Cole Robinson, Frank Tufano, and Tristan Haggard, I think. These are the 5 people right now that I'm learning quite a bit from. They're all quite the personalities. So, except for maybe Ray Peat, he's pretty chill. And I guess Danny Roddy's pretty chill too. But Tufano and the rest, I love them. They're, you know, I didn't initially like some of them, but the information it's abundant, it's free, it's right there. Utilize it, explore it. Don't take it as gospel. Just, again, eat the fish and spit out the bones. Anyway, this recording is long enough, and I need to get out here and enjoy the hike. All right. Cheers, everyone.